my friends. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm Jason McClain here on McClain Cellars. We're doing our broadcast right here from our house during the COVID-19 pandemic. Everyone's kind of shut in their place, and you kind of think to yourself, what the heck am I doing here? Well, right now, on this broadcast, this very, very special, momentous broadcast, I'm broadcasting live on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and for a very select few, for a very small portion of tonight's WineTV webinar, I'm live on Instagram. That's right. On Instagram, I'm streaming from my phone. They don't do things the way everyone else does because YouTube can kind of go nice and big, and Facebook Live can kind of go nice and big, and of course, Instagram likes to have it kind of small. So we're going to do a small portion today on YouTube and Facebook Live, but if you're watching right now on Instagram, this is going to end once I tell you a few fun, wonderful things, probably in about 10 or 15 minutes. You can jump over to our YouTube channel and get the rest of really, really cool things. My friends, thanks for tuning in tonight. I love you very, very much, and I'm excited today to take this chance to say to each and every one of you that the world is beginning to open again. That's right, the world is changing. First things first, up in Santa Barbara, thanks to the wonderful city of Santa Barbara and the county of Santa Barbara, they've opened the ability for restaurants and for wineries to engage. They got a very clever way to do it. Restaurants are open, of course, all over Santa Barbara County. I'll mention Orange County we're doing right now for that one in a couple of seconds. But in Santa Barbara, the ABC has done a really wonderful thing. And our master license is actually in Santa Barbara County. That's where our winery is actually located. So the cool thing is they've allowed wineries to operate as temporary restaurants. As long as you don't do wine tastings, as long as you decide to order a meal and you only drink glasses of wine or you only drink a bottle of wine, you can come in, maintain social distancing, all of our team wears our masks, and you can have fun. You can open things up. So everything's in motion for our Buellton location to open up because we've got that in motion. But in Orange County, today, around, I think it was 11:30 in the morning, we found out the Orange County world has opened up. And we're really excited about that one. So we've adopted the plan from Santa Barbara. We've gotten authorization from the ABC office to operate as a pseudo-temporary, per se, restaurant. So when you come out to McClain Cellars in Laguna Beach, as long as you don't mind ordering food, and we've got proper foods. We've partnered with the local restaurants right in Laguna Beach. You can actually go ahead and pick from an item on our menu, which might be anything from pizza to a sandwich to a bratwurst to all pasta, all kinds of things, salads, and we take them in from one of our local restaurants, bring them right to you. You have to go nowhere. You sit down, you enjoy yourself, you have a really fun, good time, and you can social distance. We can only fit in our small place in Laguna Beach about 17. Up in our Santa Barbara Buellton location, we could probably get about 40 people in there because it's way, way, way bigger, maybe even more than that, of course. But today was the first day. So at 11:37, I jumped out the bed with my wife and I put on clothes and I rushed down to Laguna Beach and we began opening our doors. We began to social distance our tables. My wife, God, she's amazing, scrubbed down absolutely every single table, chair, item. You were beyond safe. And of course, we're all wearing our beautiful McClain Cellars gaiters, our gaiters over here, which actually cover all of our faces. So we have them all available in Laguna Beach. But they're great. They're a head bandana as well, but they cover you entirely. So we disinfected the entire lounge and we opened up and customers came in. And I first got to give a quick shout out to say thank you to everyone who came in today. We're still open for another hour in Laguna Beach, but it's been an amazing day. We had Jeff Olson and Linda Olson came in. They were the very, very first ones to walk in the door within 4 or 5 minutes. Matter of fact, they were just right next to each other. Came in, Juanita Lamuth and her amazing husband, and they're wine club members of ours. And they came in and ordered some food and sat down, had a glass of wine. After that, Tommy, our amazing musician with his beautiful, amazing wife, came in. And then we had Conrad, another wine club member, some guests we never met before, and it began to snowball. We had to turn away about 3 or 4 parties because we only could fit 17 people in the lounge based on social distancing. But the cool thing is we're back to normal. So 11 to 7 every single day in Laguna Beach, and 11 to 8 on Friday and Saturday. This Memorial Day itself, since we're all so new, we're going to go dark so we can keep keeping things closed and clean and everything else. But the cool thing is, now's the time to come over and exercise the rules, the CDC regulations, do everything the right way, stay clean, stay fresh. You have to have a glass of wine and you have to have a meal. So we're operating under the restaurant guidelines. And the ABC gave us an authorization. They're great. They did the whole thing up in Santa Barbara. We are beyond thrilled. So you'll start noticing emails coming out. You'll start seeing changes on the website. You'll start seeing all kinds of fun things. And we're going to go back next weekend on Sunday for sure, Saturday perhaps. We're going to go back to our live music, and we've social distanced that. Unfortunately, we have to get rid of 2 people. But the unique thing is we have a plan to make it even bigger, and let me tell you what that plan is. So what do you do in our Laguna Beach Lounge area when we can only put 17 people in there? And by the way, everyone's in bar stools, so you can't meander around. You come in, you get a seat. Reservations are the way to get to Laguna Beach. So if you want to come hang out with us and enjoy some wine and some great food and have a good time under the new guidelines that the CDC's put together and our governor's endorsed and our county said okay and everybody else, then come on over. We'll take care of it. But go to our website, select Laguna Beach, and trust me, make a reservation because this is a much smaller capacity than we're used to. And the only way to do that is make sure everybody has a reservation. So that's a real big ticket. So what do we do to get this more? How do you get past 17 people to more and more, but all social distancing properly so that we don't have any problems with the federal government or the county? Everybody's going to make everybody happy and keep everyone safe. So we petitioned the city of Laguna Beach, and we're waiting for their response. Hopefully they'll say yes. ABC seems to be very happy with the idea of closing down part of the parking lot in our place. Once they give us the authorization to do so, we've already purchased umbrellas, tables, chairs, a chain link fence to go around it. We're going to expand our place out by about 2 to 3 times into the parking lot and make it inside-outside. And we're petitioning the county and the government to do it for the next 3 months. So that McClain Cellars is now 4 times bigger than Laguna Beach. You can social distance, and it's as if the world is perfect again. So these are all little ideas, little thoughts, little droplets trying to make everything better. So one, it's a remarkable day. It's an amazing day, and I'm glad that I was there all day in the lounge. I had to rush home to come do the broadcast here. I honestly was going to do the broadcast from Laguna Beach at the lounge itself with my wife, but we just could not bring all of our equipment and all the lighting and everything else and just to do it properly. I said, nah, I'm going to go home because after my first day in 3 months in the lounge, gosh, it's been a moment of all kinds of sorts. But we're excited. We'll be open tomorrow at 11 a.m. in the morning until 7 p.m. Come out, say hello. Dominique is going to be working the whole day. I'll be there in the morning. And we're going to go dark on Monday, but we're back again. And the world's going to be a little different, but we're there to make sure your experience is second to none. And as a Santa Barbara County-based winery, where our main liquor license is held, we're following the guidelines from the county, and we follow the operations from Orange County and the state of California, and we're doing everything the right way, and we're excited to bring you safety and bring you wine and bring you good times. And it was a great time. Matter of fact, I'll show you real quickly here. Those of you who are not actually able to watch this because you're on Instagram, you won't see these pictures. But everybody else, here's a quick look at what the lounge looked like today. We all had our masks on. Our guests had our masks on. It was absolutely fantastic. And here's some more. And everyone was there. We had tables which were cordoned off. And people enjoyed, pizza and food and everything else. And it was such an amazing and an awesome time. We couldn't have asked for anything more. So there's your quick update on how we're opening. But now we're going to actually begin the actual official show. And if you're watching on Instagram Live, I'm going to kill Instagram Live right now because I can't run the show in the same way. But if you want to watch our show where Chef Jack is going to make an amazing Chicago pizza, we're going to wine taste our beautiful Five Hearts, our 96-point double gold winning wine, and have such an amazing time hanging out, then jump over to our Facebook page at McClain Cellars, and you'll find our live broadcasting right now, or to McClain Cellars on YouTube, and the broadcast is there as well. If you can't get to those two, head over to McClainCellars.com/WineTV. So, hold that thought. I'm going to scoot over here and press a button. So, I'm going off camera. I'm not here. Goodbye, Instagram. We love you. Bye. There we go. No more Instagram. Okay, Instagram is now dead to the world. And we are back. And I really haven't left yet. I just kind of walk around the whole little world. At any rate, now's the time. Ladies and gentlemen, and allow me to begin this properly to make sure the world sees it. It's time to introduce our special guests here on our Wine TV show. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, the most loyal friends a man could ever ask for, much more than a dog. Some of you guys have dogs or cats or birds or pets. I've got guys, and these guys are better than a dog. They don't shed. They don't pee on you. You have to pick up behind them in their poop, although I've done that a couple times. And they just love having fun. So, my friends, allow me an opportunity to introduce to you the two guys that are here tonight to make sure, A, you've got great wine cocktails, B, make sure you learn to cook a great dish, and C, are going to enjoy wonderful time with us here at McClain Cellars Wine TV. Ladies and gentlemen, Jack and Mark.
I am the dread highwayman Jack McClain. Your money or your wine.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good, indeed.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
I'm seriously impressed. I'm seriously impressed.
Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome. How are you guys? Let me grab my phone over here because it's over there on Instagram, so I can see what's coming down. Hey, how are you guys? Welcome back tonight. It's Wednesday. So what day is today? Saturday night. I have no idea what day it is. It's just running all together.
I'm bringing it down.
Just one of those days.
I just realized how bad my breath smells. Anyway.
Says and so. You guys look great. I love the face masks over there.
Well, first of all, let me tell you that the face masks actually are very, very comfortable. But second of all, it's incredibly exciting to know that you guys are opened up again. Your tasting room in Laguna and soon to be in Buellton are two of our favorite places on the face of the earth, and I am so proud of you and happy for you.
Thank you, Jack. I appreciate that, brother, 100%. I really, really enjoy it.
I have a question. Jason, you mentioned earlier that the rules say that you have to have either a glass or a bottle of wine.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
What if I want to have 2 bottles of wine? Is that still okay?
Totally fine. So listen, we're following, since we're a Santa Barbara-based winery, our license is in Santa Barbara, we're following the guidelines by the ABC, by the state of California, and by the governor himself. And basically, ABC does such a great job to allow wineries to kind of operate as a temporary restaurant. As long as we're not touching food and handling food, we can give you the food. We just, of course, we're not going to cook it. We're not going to touch it. We're relying upon our partners. But to do that, the ABC and the federal government, or the state government, they don't want everyone getting sloshed. You know, they want you to go to Target and Lowe's, of course, because that's very safe. But they don't want you to get sloshed. So bars and wineries to just drink wine and drink food, it's not available. But to do a restaurant, you can go in, have a glass of wine, and have a meal. So McClain Cellars is following the guidelines. Say, listen, we're going to go in and we're going to have a meal, but they're going to provide the meal entirely. We're not. We'll ring it up, and it'll come directly from that restaurant across the street. You can pick what you want, and they'll give you a glass of wine. You can have 100 glasses of wine and 100 bottles of wine as long as you have a meal, and that has to come in together.
So, quick question. Everyone is staying 6 feet apart by, the specific rules of social distancing. I know how the footprint of your tasting room works, and I think it actually works out really nice for that. Everyone has to sit down on a stool. Your experience today, you had people coming in from from what I understand from the club and a couple of people who had never been before and all that kind of stuff. So my question to you is, when do you think you're going to be able to ramp totally up, or is this the new normal?
This is the new normal for now. Once the governor or the counties or whoever's involved in the process of making this work, once they say that you no longer need to be 6 feet apart and social distance, once that's the case, then that will change. But right now, as long as a restaurant is required to maintain every other table, the bar is closed, you can't belly up at the bar, you're at a table, you're sitting down. And once that all changes, then we can change that one. But for now, that's why we're trying to get our license approved to allow us to do everything in the parking lot in Laguna Beach. Up in Buellton, we could social distance our butt silly, and I could probably fit 100 people at 6 feet apart, all sitting down in chairs in our Buellton location. We're just waiting for the county permit to come through. And once the county permit comes through, then we can go to the fire department and get our occupancy code number, and then we're able to open. So we're ready to rock and roll in that capacity. And the same thing, there's things we can do in Buellton before we open up inside, outside, because the occupancy certificates are for inside the building of the winery. So there's a big chance we'll open up by next weekend up in Buellton. As long as the O2 is secured and issued, there's a possibility that we might be able to do wine tasting outside of our facility, literally in the front yard, up in Buellton, to just be able to do it, because the government, the state, and the people say inside your building you got to have the fire code approved, you got to have all these things, but outside you're licensed. So one would think you can do it outside. I'm not declaring that's what we're doing. I'm not saying that one, but it's a possibility. So we're just looking to make sure that we're keeping people safe. We're not contributing to COVID-19. We're not making people uncomfortable. We're keeping our staff together. We're following the guidelines and the rules, and we're doing it to the letter of the law. And frankly, honestly, I had a call the other day with the ABC office, and they're wonderful. And with my compliance agent had that call. And then in 5 minutes of the call, they said you can partner with people if they don't have a liquor license, meaning you have like a catering company. An hour later, that changed so that you can actually partner with someone with a liquor license, which made life a lot easier. But it's a whole process. So they're trying to find ways to help us help everyone at home. They're trying to find ways to help us small business owners to live and to breathe. And honestly, Orange County is interesting because Orange County has 5 wineries, for goodness gracious. So they've got a different set of parameters and they're focused on restaurants. So I'm following the ABC guidelines for my master license, which is totally legal and totally good to do. So we're trying to make sure you guys have a good, safe, wonderful time and giving you an opportunity to just get liquored up deliberately and drink and eat food at the same time.
So let's eat and drink. What do you say?
I say to do that, we need a safe word, and that follows the line of the wine we're drinking tonight. So ladies and gentlemen, tonight here at McClain Cellars, I have a bottle, Jack has a bottle, and Mark has a bottle of this delightful, amazing 2017 5 Hearts. This is
baby. That's what I'm talking about.
It's stupid good. It's our double gold winner wine. We'll do some wine tasting on it in a few minutes, and we're going to switch gears and get things going. But before we go into that one, our safe word tonight is hearts. So if I, Jack, or Mark, or anyone in the chat room tonight says the word heart, here's what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that'll work. It's delicious.
It's
got beautiful depth.
Oh, that's so good.
It's a lovely blend. I think it's going to go really well with our meal tonight. I'm cooking a really wonderful dish, by the way, and we picked the perfect wine.
You did. This is a great time to do some wine taste. You guys want to do it with me?
Sure.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Ladies and gentlemen, when we wine taste, we also do a little bit of dancing. didn't notice. Yeah, I was just too busy drinking and dancing for myself. I kind of like those things. It's kind of exciting. Welcome back, my friends. Tonight we're going through, as I said, our 2017 Five Hearts. This is 50% Petite Syrah with Merlot and Sangiovese. Now, if you have drinking our 2016 Purpose Road, you love the 75% Merlot and 25% Sangiovese. This one kicks it up beyond all possible notches. There is absolutely not a better wine in the arsenal. This one is our first wine. We actually brought home a double gold. A double gold means 96 and above points. We won the double gold in the San Francisco wine competition literally right before the COVID-19 virus hit and the world ended and got stupid. But we did all
Alexa,
that right before all
stop.
that, and we got our first double gold. We were so thrilled, so thrilled. So, guys, let's take a sip together. Lift up your glass, and then give me your opinions and the characters and notes you're picking up in this stupid good wine.
Totally like that.
I kind of feel like my butt was just coddled by a large mulatto woman as I rode into the forest.
I was thinking the same thing.
Did you?
Yeah.
And I was
As soon as it
thinking
hits
of
your
romper
palate.
room. That is so weird.
You were thinking what?
I was thinking of romper room. That is so weird. So let me give you my honest to God opinion.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful California wine. It's a great blend. What's the blend in here, Jason?
Merlot, Sangiovese, and Petite Syrah. Petite Syrah is the big base, 50%.
From a chef standpoint, I'm always considering wine with food, right? So this is a really big red sauce wine. It's a really good meat wine. If you've got fish that has some depth and body to it, that would work. Okay, this could actually work with a great cheese platter. There's all sorts of different things that this wine would work for.
Wow.
It's got lovely depth of flavor. The tannins are really nice and soft. It really is a gorgeous wine.
It's lovely.
It really is.
You know, I tell you, as we drink these wonderful things, I love seeing the comments on Facebook and on social media. Just popped a couple on there. So Tiffany, as you guys know, Tiffany's our general manager up in Buellton, and she's just anxious to get out of the house. She took the words out of my mouth. She picked up black currant and red cherries, and it's very true. They're both in there.
Definitely.
5 minutes.
Did you pick it up, Mark?
Oh yeah, I think the Petite Syrah is the hero in this wine for me.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a big Petite Syrah fan. It definitely comes through.
You know, it's funny, as a winery, it's odd that we make so many Petite Syrahs. So we have our Family Values Petite Syrah, our Hope and Faith Petite Syrah. We've made this 5 Hearts with a Petite Syrah base. We've added Petite Syrah and different other wines that we've actually made. Our Lifesaver, 2017 Lifesaver, as majority of Tempranillo, we've added Petite Syrah to soften it up. And in about a month or two, we'll be launching out visual flight rules in honor of my days as a pilot. And that is also a Petite Syrah. So I love Petite Syrah. I love the earthiness of it. This one had to pick up a little small touch of cedar, a very small touch of cedar, but it's just so well balanced. And the cool thing on this wine is that it's chilled exactly the way it should be. And nothing beats a great wine that's just not at the right temperature. I hate a bottle of wine off a shelf. I really despise it in every single way. You've got to drink a wine that is at the right temperature. And for me, it's the low 60s for red and the 40s for white. And if you don't drink it that way, I've got a couple of bottles out here which are on display for the webinar, but when I'm going to drink them, I'll grab these bottles, I'll go throw them in the freezer for 15, 20 minutes to get them down to that temperature. Because what happens when you get a wine and you drink it at temperature, you got it in the 60s, you're going to get the characteristics of that wine coming out much more so than you would without that one. Because when it's warmer, the character is dulled. The senses become dull. The tannins become dull. The fruit becomes dull. It literally becomes there's no a good story's got a start, a middle, and an end. There is no start. There is no middle. There's just an end. So if you're one of the people tonight who are drinking great wine and are not doing it at temperature, you don't have a wine refrigerator, don't walk, run, my friends, to the local Lowe's hardware store. You can go in there and social distance your butt off and buy a wine refrigerator to keep McClain wines at the right temp. Because when you do, you'll get the essence of what happens when your liver quivers and your butt goes into Northland and you just have a really, really good time. Yum, 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 yum.
Yeah, I think you can even get one of those little 3 or 6 bottles for your countertop, very inexpensive, just to keep your wine that you're going to be drinking the next day or so chilled. And what about aeration? What's your thought about aeration and decanting?
You know, I'm a big fan of it, honestly. You can over decant a wine, so I always taste the wine before decanting it. And decanting is just the art of taking the bottle of wine and pouring it into a decanter. If you don't have a decanter, you can do so by pouring the wine. It's kind of weird into a pitcher, a water pitcher. Let's say you don't have a decanter at home. Pour it into a big water pitcher. Decanting a wine, aerating a wine does 2 things. They're a little bit different. I'll explain the differences. So if you're going to aerate a wine, aeration adds oxygen to the wine. Now, if I keep the wine in this bottle, the surface area is as big as the bottle. When I give the wine a chance to spread out, like on a pan or a big bowl or something, that gets more oxygen over the surface area. The more surface area, the more aeration, the more oxygen. When I decant the wine, I'm doing the same thing. I'm allowing the aeration of the wine to take place, but I'm also accounting for sediment because we don't want the tartrates or the sediment in the wine making our experience, poopy-headed. We don't want poopy-headed experiences. Very, very bad to be a poopy-headed experience. So I love to decant and blow them up. A lot of McClain wines, honestly, they're good out the bottle. They really, really are. And the older ones, when you get into, or the ones with the bigger blends, the more wine which are blended together, the more of a chance for aeration. We have a device in the lounge, which you now can come see, which is called an ice sommelier. And we sell them there to our members and everybody else. It's an awesome device. So what an ice sommelier does is it's an old blood oxygenation device. And it forces oxygen into the wine and can accelerate the maturation of the wine by tenfold. So imagine pouring a bottle of wine into a device, pressing a button for 1 minute. 1 minute from now, it will shove so much oxygen up the bum of the wine so that it has the proper decanting and aeration of 1 hour. And that changes the wine entirely. You did the thing for 2 minutes, now you're over-oxygenating. You take a bottle of wine and leave it outside, or leave it with the cork off of it overnight, and you come back and it tastes like swill water. It's nasty. That's because too much oxygen. So when you open that cork, you're playing with the oxygen associated with the wine, and that makes your experience different. And you don't want to go down that route. You want to make sure you work it properly.
I think it's a matter of personal taste, how much air you like in your wine. But some of your wines, I think people might want to try to aerate or decant and see if they like them even better.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We've done plenty of experiments with that.
Yes. The cool thing about having the wine and making it the way you want it to be and enjoying it, with this whole COVID-19 thing, people have had a hard time getting a chance to enjoy our wines at home. So we've launched out something new. And I'm going to show it right here on my screen. It's available on our website. It's available online. We've decided to create something pretty cool, which are these little at-home wine tasting kits. We put them together in 1 ounce bottles, and we put them together in 2 ounce bottles. So what is this for example? So right here, I'll open it up. Here is a baby 5 hearts. That's a baby 5 hearts. It's literally 1 ounce of wine, and there's no oxygen in it, so it's completely maintained. It's 1 ounce of wine, or you can decide to upgrade that one, and maybe you want to try out our 2016 Poetic Vine. That's in a 2 ounce. So all of our wines are in 1 ounce and 2 ounce, and it's like $15, $20. So I'm going to show you right now. This is a very cool little thing we literally just started doing. And right here on my screen, you can see we've got at-home wine tasting kits for everyone. And you can bring the lounge experience if you're not one to go outside and do it. We have our Laguna, our Canyon, our Masters, our Reserve flights. And literally, they are 5 bottles, 1 ounce or 2 ounce. And look at this. With those 5 bottles, we tell you all about the wine. They can be picked up in the lounge. They can be shipped home to you pretty cheap. $10, $15, whatever. The costs are nothing. If you're in our wine club, you're of course getting a discount on those ones. Our Canyon flights, which are 2 whites and 1 amazing red. If you want to pick that up, that's available to you right now. $15, $20, $25. They're not expensive. They're designed to give you love, my friends, in every single way. Our Masters flight, which is all reds, including the 5 hearts we're enjoying tonight, that's right there available for you. And that is costing you, once again, nothing in the grand scheme. And our Reserve flight, which includes our iconic Faithful Friend, which I'll touch on a bit more later on tonight. But in essence, this is available to you right now. You can go to our website at McClainCellars.com, and in the chat roll, in a couple of seconds, if you pay attention a few seconds, you'll see in the chat roll, I'll actually put a link in the chat roll that everyone can get on Facebook Live and on YouTube Live, where you can place your order right now, pick it up in the lounge, or stop in the lounge, take one home with you. They're not designed to enjoy them in the lounge, they're for at home. And we've created in these kits a video. So I went to the lounge and I recorded me, with great camera work, thanks to Jack. I recorded me taking you through the entire flight, a 15-minute video. You can access it right now. If you went to McClainCellars.com/Laguna, you'll see the actual video on our YouTube channel. The videos are all there on YouTube. And you're going to walk you through a 15-minute flight of me in the lounge teaching you about every one of these wines. So we want you to get to know the wine. We want you to understand the wine. We want you to fall in love with the wine. And we want you to bathe your body in the wine. And the more you bathe your body in the wine, the happier you're going to be. I can promise you that there's a study somewhere that will show you that COVID-19 results might be something different than we can imagine if you put wine all over your body. So, and you start with that with the tasting kits from McClain Cellars. Disclaimer, I'm lying to you right
now. All right, well done.
How was that?
I hope you do well.
Is that yum yum?
It's a fun time. It's great for a party.
It's great for a party. It should be done. It should be done all over the United States. I am in.
You know, bridal showers and stuff like that. It's great.
By the way, that's the voice from outside. She really doesn't matter at all.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I can tell.
Now, I was thinking it's great. Those bottles are nice and compact. So you can throw a couple in your pocket when you're heading off to the work or, a sporting event or something like that. They're great because I feel weird when I'm at work and I whip out a whole bottle of wine.
It'll make the morning drive so much nicer.
Yeah, exactly.
I can sit here right now and I can just, imagine you're going for a hiking trip and you and your wife are going for a nice hike. And wouldn't it be great if a glass of wine on the top of your hike? Listen, grab this, put it in your pocket, and then you and your wife, kind of like your winos, you pop the cork over. Yeah. That was a big workout, baby.
Does it come with a little mini corkscrew as well?
No, they're twisties. So we got the shrink wrap on them so that they're secure and safe and COVID-19 resistant. And then you pop it off and you suck it down. You can put them in a glass and swirl it, but I like to put it in my pocket and just suck it down. I'm a sucker.
All right, so coming soon from McClain Cellars, you're going to have wine in those little wax bottles where you just bite the top off and squirt it in your mouth, right?
I'm in.
That'll be amazing. I can't wait for that.
Or call it what it is, the hiking pack.
I love it.
The hiking pack. That's it.
The hiking pack. I like it.
You know, a really good thing. I think that the world of awesomeness would be perfect if we could find what Mark can do with a cocktail and taking 5 hearts. Mark, are you up for making a cocktail for us?
I am ready, and it's going to be tasty.
I can't wait. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the time when we come together and we look at Mark and we say, Mark, can you please get us sloshed?
everybody. So tonight we are going to make another whiskey cocktail. Actually, we're going to use rye. This is, I think, the third or fourth bourbon or rye-based cocktail that I've made because I like whiskey, and I think you will too. So in this particular case, I'm using a special kind. This is Basil Hayden's Caribbean Reserve. It's got a little rum in it, so it's kind of sweet. And that paired
Basil Hayden at my suggestion.
That paired with the 5 Hearts, it's amazing. So you're going to start with, I'm doing about 3.5 ounces of wine here, and then we're going to do a little dash of simple syrup, just a little bit, because it's already sweet enough with that rye in there. And then we're going to do about 1.5 ounces of the rye. And you can tell, I hope you can tell on camera here, this is nice and dark, really sweet, got a great taste to it. And then we're going to do a little lemon juice. So I'm just going to poke a hole in the lemon there. Just a little bit of lemon juice. I'm going to throw a couple ice cubes in. I don't want to get this too watered down, just hold. We'll give that a couple stirs. And we're going fancy tonight here, folks. We're going to be drinking this out of a martini glass because I think that looks cool. So there we go. It's got a nice dark reddish brown color. Smells amazing. Tastes amazing. You're going to want to try this one for sure. What do you think, Jack?
Oh, Big Daddy, that looks like it's gorgeous. I love. Nice. Oh yeah.
Look at this.
Oh, the fact that you're using a Basil Hayden product. Okay, my friend Jeff Hayden is actually watching tonight, who is the great grandson of Basil Hayden. So that's pretty cool.
Jack, no one could hear you a second ago because it was just Mark on the system. So, time for you. I'm pushing up my volume microphone right now.
Excellent.
Excellent. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, now we can hear you. So what do you think, Jack?
So I thought it was absolutely brilliant. I mean, I can't wait to taste it. And by the way, Jeff Hayden, who is the great-grandson of Basil Hayden, is watching our show tonight. Consider that just for a moment.
And look at
we have generations.
That man.
I'm a big fan.
That man really does a great job with such an oration of words. He said, duh, and of course he said, it was really, really good. And then, of course, another comment he said, da, which I thought was really good. He's very literate, I think, which is great. I love the whole thing.
Yeah. You know what?
Oh, be careful.
He would fit in, I got to tell you.
I'm even thinking with this drink, we could actually heat this up kind of like a hot toddy, maybe throw a cinnamon stick in there.
Ooh, yeah.
Kind of like a mulled wine.
Nice.
Yeah, try that too.
Just got Shelley-Ann's attention big time. Okay. Not that she can't drink whiskey, because she can drink whiskey, okay? But mulled wine is her thing.
Are you peeing right now?
Huh?
I just heard like somebody was peeing. Was that you, Jack?
No. Shelley-Ann was actually pouring wine into our glasses.
It sounded like urination. I apologize.
I seldom pee in front of my stove. I do it every once in a while, but it's usually really late at night.
Yeah, got to make sure you turn that mic off.
Exactly. Thank you. Hey, can I cook now?
I think it's time.
Let's see what you got.
Jack, I think it's time. We're going to throw it to Jack. Ladies and gentlemen, my good friend Jack, Chef Jack, is going to get you fat. And if you eat some food, watch out, baby, because here comes a Chicago deep dish pizza by Chef Jack. What?
Yes, sir.
I am excited. Let's get fat. Here's the deal. Deep dish Chicago pizza is it really depends on what your outlook is. You might love thin crust pizza. You're a New Yorker. You say the Chicago style pizza is kind of weird and all this kind of stuff. And I agree with everybody's opinion on this because your pizza is exactly what you want it to be. But tonight, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my roots. And I'm going to make certain that I make a pizza that is really easy to make and has a spectacular finish to it. And it's going to really make a lot of people really happy. Shelly-Ann, hand me, if you will, the pizza dough. Now, take a look at this, ladies and gentlemen. This has been rising now for almost 3 hours. Look at this. Oh, dude, are you kidding me? And I got to tell you, so you're going to take your 5 fingers, and the first thing you're going to do is you're going to do this. You're going to punch it down. And the reason you punch it down is because you're going to get all the air out of it, and then you're going to take it out of the mixing bowl, which is not the easiest thing on the face here, but I'm navigating brilliantly, okay? Thank you, my darling. Now, look what you've got. You've got this spectacular dough. Now, listen to me. Dough is not a big deal. You can make this. It is really simple. People ask me, can I get this from the store? Yeah, you can get it from the store, but the store pizzas that you're buying are for thin crust pizzas. This is a thick crust pizza. What's the difference? The difference is this has a little cornmeal in it and some melted butter. It makes all the difference in the world, okay? So if you have this particular dough, and it's really simple to make, and you're ready to rock and roll with it, this is what we're going to do. I've got a slightly floured wooden platter here, okay? And I'm gonna make certain that my dough is just stretched out long enough to get me into a 10-inch pan. I haven't been using a 10-inch pan tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't have a 12-inch or whatever, okay? I know. Here's the deal. I understand it's rocking, it's making noise and all this kind of stuff, okay? But what I want to do is I want to make certain I stretch the dough out, okay? And it's really easy to do. I'm doing this with my fingers. You notice I'm not tossing it and doing all sorts of stuff, okay? I'm going to put this over here, and then I'm going to introduce this is a 10-inch cast iron pan. Shelly-Ann, it's going to be okay. She's trying to correct the holes in it, okay? Holes are not a big deal. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in here, and then I'm going to just kind of sort of work the whole thing around. So I'm going to get this in the bottom of the pan, and then I'm just going to work the whole thing into the sides of the pan. When we're done here, and if you've got some holes in it, don't worry about it, because this is such an easy dough to work with. You're going to work on the sides of the pan. It's really simple. You're going to press things against the side of the pan. Now, in the restaurants in Chicago, they have these machines that do the same thing, okay? And we're making this by hand here. And I'm going to tell you, it's going to turn out delicious just if you follow these really simple directions. So I've got a really high flanged pan here. This pan is probably a 4-inch flange. Usually it's a much lower. It's usually a 2-inch flange, but that's okay. It's going to work out fine. Whatever you've got, and it doesn't have to be cast iron. It can be stainless steel. It can be a paella pan. It can be a non-stick pan, all those kinds of things. But what you want to do is you want to work the dough into the sides of the pan until that dough starts coming up, and it will. All you got to do is be patient with it. This is how you do it. You just twist the pan until the dough starts coming up onto the edges, just like this. And you'll see it happens really, really easily, okay? Now, what you're doing is you're making a bowl of dough. A bowl of dough. And it's really simple. If there's a hole in it for whatever reason, because I got a hole in the middle of this, make certain, by the way, that you've really well oiled the pan before you put your dough in the pan. That's important. Critical, no. Important, yes. Okay? So, I'm almost finished with it, and that is my dough right there. Now, toppings. It's simple, okay? Are you ready to rock and roll? Provolone cheese. This is smoked provolone. I'm going to put one. I'm going to press them into the bottom of the dough because I want the provolone to be my base for everything that's going to go on here, okay? 4, 5, 6, and then in the middle, 7 and 8. And that's my provolone. My provolone is in there. I'm just going to press it down, okay? Now, I've got 3 kinds of cheese. I have got wet mozzarella. This is the bufala mozzarella, and bufala is an Italian word for cow, right? So what I'm going to do basically is I want to put the bufala mozzarella on top of the provolone, okay? Because I'm building layers of flavor. Layers of flavor are the most important thing that you can do in cooking, right? So I want to make certain that I got enough cheese in here. And I've got dry mozzarella, but first, so I've got the provolone, I've got the wet mozzarella. I'm going to put some red onions, really thinly sliced red onions. In a pizza, when you're doing the fillings, remember this one really important rule. Less is more, okay? It's important. So you're not going to overload the pizza with this kind of stuff. Now, fresh garlic. I've got some chopped fresh garlic. This is going to be about a clove, maybe a clove and a half. I'm going to put that on top of the cheese, okay? Easy stuff. Now, I want another layer of cheese, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my dry mozzarella. Now, my dry mozzarella, that's that block of stuff that you see in the grocery store, and it's the stringy cheese on the face of the earth. And I don't want this to necessarily be something where you cut into it and you get these 15 feet long strings. I want to make certain that the pizza is more like a lasagna. That's my style for this thing, okay? So I'm going to take the the dry mozzarella. I'm going to put it on top of the wet mozzarella and the garlic and the red onion, okay? Now, here's the most critical component. This is hot Italian sausage. And what I've done is I've made meatballs out of it. Now, in a lot of Italian restaurants that serve this kind of pizza in Chicago, what they do is they kind of make a patty and they put it in the center of the pizza, and that's how they cook their pizza. I've always discovered that what you want to do is you want the heat to permeate the entire length of the pizza from the bottom of the pizza to the top. So I'm going to put these little Italian sausage meatballs all over this particular layer, okay? And I'm going to use probably, when all is said and done, about a pound of the pizza, or of the Italian sausage, I should say, okay? So I've got 10 pieces. You want to make certain that every slice that's going to happen has a really nice combination of whatever you need in it. Here's 12, 13, and then if you see a little bare spot, don't be afraid to take the smaller meatballs and kind of sort of shove those in there, okay? And that's that particular layer. Now, here's the last layer. What I've got is I've got a blend of about six Italian cheeses. So I've got Parmesan, I've got Pecorino Romano, I've got Fontina, I do have a little dry mozzarella, and I've got what's the last cheese I was looking for? I told you Romano and all that kind of stuff. Okay, doesn't make any difference. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to sprinkle this on top of the meat. Okay, so I have just built 5 layers of flavor, 5 layers of flavor on top of that. I want to make certain that I got this covered properly. Okay, last but not least, I've got 2 more ingredients. I'm going to take a really good pizza sauce. Pizza sauce. If you went to a commercial pizza joint, like one of the commercial pizza joints, I'm not going to name names, okay? Their pizza sauce is essentially a can of tomato paste and some sugar, and that's it. They think that that's the bomb, okay? So what I want you to do is I want you to make your own pizza sauce. Get a really good bottle of pizza, or not pizza, but Italian red sauce from the grocery store. The stuff that I've used here is Rouse because they have very little sugar in it. Okay, add a little bit of stuff to it. Your favorite things, some fresh herbs, a little bit of crushed red pepper, a little bit of crushed tomatoes, okay? You cook it for 20 minutes and you've got an absolutely gorgeous pizza sauce. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the pizza sauce and I'm just going to cover it now, and I'm going to cover a pretty decent layer. Now, there's two schools of thought on this, and the first school of thought is that the pizza sauce should be really thin. I am not of that school. I want this to permeate the entire 6 layers that we've just made. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the dough, because the dough is nice and soft right now and it's been working its way around. I'm going to make certain that I absolutely get that all on the side of the pan, and then I'm going to start folding it in. And it's really simple to start folding in. What I'm doing is I'm making the crust, right? So as I'm doing this and I'm making the crust, you'll see that I have got an absolutely beautiful pizza pie here. Deep dish pizza pie. Look at this, friends. Look at it. It's fabulous. Oh, my God. Okay, so what are we going to do? We're going to finish with a little bit of olive oil. This is McClain's Luca extra virgin olive oil. This is directly from Italy. I'm going to drizzle that around the circumference of the pan. Remember, I've highly oiled this pan. It's really important. And then, last but not least, I'm going to use an Italian blend of seasonings. This is from my friend Tarkan at Tulips and Spices in Tustin. If you love cooking and you love spices, this guy grinds his own stuff. It is unbelievable. I have all sorts of his products in my drawers and in my cupboard and all this kind of stuff. This is the Italian blend. It's got red pepper in it. It's got thyme and basil and tarragon and all sorts of good stuff. The last thing I'm going to do is I am going to sprinkle some of this on the top. I'm going to take my olive oil. I'm going to sprinkle it on the top as well, just a little bit, just to keep the top moist. And that's the way that works. I'm going to put it in a 425-degree oven for 35 minutes. And in 35 minutes, it's going to come out and it's going to be absolutely spectacular. If you don't believe me, through the magic of television, here's one that I made 10 minutes ago. Look at this bad boy. It's incredible. It's 4 inches thick. It's got a beautiful brown crust on it. When I'm going to cut into it, it's going to be like a lasagna-style, beautiful deep dish pizza. As a matter of fact, if you give me just a moment, I am going to take... What? Shelly, it's sliding? It's supposed to be sliding. It's supposed to be going back and forth. What? Speak!
I don't think it's set.
Oh, it's set. It's all set. It's ready to rock and roll. Look at
that's like a pizza cake.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I'm going to give a shout out to Oscar and Will, my students this morning, who actually followed me in this particular endeavor. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to make certain that this is, hey, I tell you what, give me a few minutes to cut into this, Jason, and I will make certain that I give you the specifically spectacular slice, okay?
That's fine. Virginia had a question. Can you answer it right there on your screen?
Hit me.
What was the name
What
of
is
the place for the spices again?
Oh, it's called Spice and Tulips in Tustin.
They're online.
They're online, spiceandtulips.com. Tarek is this wonderful human being, and he grinds these all himself, and it's absolutely spectacular.
Awesome.
Will said they
Jack,
just ate theirs and it was delicious.
Come back to me in 2 minutes. I'm going to show you a fabulous slice of pizza.
I can't
Do you deliver?
wait. Philip says it looks like baked Italy. Well done, Jack.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's very cool.
Nicole says
Thank you.
the first slice is the hardest. So I
It
think we're
is.
going to go.
That's one of the reasons why I want a couple of minutes for it.
Well, that sounds like a wonderful idea. My friends, I am going to take a second here and thank every single amazing person again. Listen, do you love these shows that we're doing? Jack's putting some pizza together, so I came full screen to me. Do you love these webinars? Listen, we're back open again. We're not sheltering in place every single day. You can go outside again. But let me know in the chat roll if you would like us to continue doing these once a week, twice a month, whatever it might be, and get this broadcasting gear, whether it's just me or Jack and I, or Jack, me, and Mark, and having fun. Let me know in the chat roll that you're loving these shows that we put together. You're loving these times that we can come together and engage it, because I love doing them. We have a lot of new things in this new normal. One are these WineTV webinars. And as you can see, we've been working hard to make these broadcasts more polished and a little bit better, a little more fun. But if you want us to keep doing these wonderful things, you can actually connect with us, whether it's once a week, twice a week, once a month, twice a month, whatever it is. I won't keep doing them unless I know you want them there, unless I know you're going to show up for the broadcast, and I know that you're going to be there. So get in the chat roll, let us know what you like, and we'll give you what you want. My friends, don't forget 5 hearts. Don't forget a wonderful, amazing, amazing at-home tasting kit, because everybody needs a little love, especially after a good workout. So I want to know who wants to go on a nice little workout. Mark, is that your thought as well about going for a workout and drinking when you get done? I love the idea.
I think so. Yeah, I definitely think so. And this is the perfect after workout cocktail. So if you're sitting at home thinking wine cocktail sounds weird, not at all. This one right here is amazing.
Hey, Jack's going to show us something. His microphone is off right now, but in a couple of seconds, Jack is going to come back to us.
I have an absolutely gorgeous pizza in front of me, and I want you guys to eat it and enjoy it, and you guys will have a fabulous evening if you make Chicago deep dish pizza. It's easy, and I was really happy to bring it to you.
Jack,
can I get that here?
Yes.
30 minutes or less?
We're on our way. Not a problem.
I'm loving it. Look at the feedback we're getting over here, gentlemen. I mean, it's pretty cool to see. I love it. Virginia Want says once a week is great. Been looking forward to each week to see what's going on. Phil Hare, he's always a cut up. Well, Jason, it's so early in our relationship, so love is a strong term. But I think it would be great to keep seeing each other several times a month. Karen approves this message. Oh, I love it. Bev is awesome. She gives lots of hearts. Simon says, love the show. Once a week would be awesome. Don King says, yes, as long as we get out more often, or once or twice a month will work best. It's great. And then Luff, want to see Tiffany. Yes, I think we get Tiffany in gear. Nicole says, keep them going. LA is still open. Virginia says, yes. Bring it on. Awesome. It's just great. You know something? I think that the world is saying to us, we're going to get things in gear and keep these things going. So if all of you have been saying you want to keep us in gear, this won't stop. I'll give you the announcements. We'll probably tailor it down to probably once a week to get things in gear. Maybe we'll keep going. I know Jack has great recipes, and I would love to see Jack engage things. With the lounge open, I'll be in the lounge a little more often, but I'm going to keep these things going and keep this broadcast in motion. So part of McClain's new MO, and we get a lot of things out of it. Part of the new MO is WineTV shows. So think about this. What did we learn from the past 3 months of being sheltered in place? One, that you can have little at-home, little
great wine.
Drink wine. And that's a cool thing. They have little bottles. You're going to enjoy them as you take them home with you. So that's one. 2, we have a WineTV show. 3, we've expanded even more. I actually had time to create a video recording of every one of the 47 wines we've ever created here at McClain Cellars, and every wine we make, in a video recording. Mark Barley's been telling me to do that one for 2 years, and I just haven't had time. So a lot's come out of all of this one. So even though we're open again in some limited small capacity, I want to keep talking to you. I want to keep seeing you. I want to keep hanging out with you. I want to keep getting liquored up with you because that's more fun than not, frankly. What do you think, guys?
I'm in.
I agree.
Let's go.
Love it. Love it. So, you know what? This is that wonderful time of the night where we get to drink. Mark is literally across the street from me. He's literally 15 feet that way. Jack is not. But I think our hearts, hang on, our hearts are open to everyone on Memorial Day.
Here's to all of our vets and those that have passed before us.
Yes, yes. My father spent
Cheers to them.
49 years in the armed forces, in the military. I have a brother who spent 27 years in the Navy, retired as a ship's captain. I have a squadron captain, I should say. I've got another brother who served in the Navy in Lexington, another brother who did some time with the Air Force. All my family are military vets. My sister, God bless her, I love her. I'll see her tomorrow at 1 o'clock with some Memorial Day moments. Washington Post for over 30 years. So Mark, a Marine himself, he has served. He's got his hat on, Semper Fi, my friend. It's great. I'm an Agent Orange recipient. So my fingers were lost due to my father's service in Vietnam contracting the Agent Orange disease. So although I was not able to serve in the military, I definitely got the handicap and the rewards of having been maimed in battle. So hey, score for that one, right? Now I just drink every day.
I want to mention my brother who served 5 years in San Quentin.
Tell him I said thank you for your service.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Love it. I think it's the time we get ready to do some music. So I think it's time. What's that sound that I hear? I'm hearing some
It's a clip track.
Oh yeah, it's our soundtrack. What? Who's your daddy? Give me your best
Who is your
moves
daddy?
now. Come on, Mark, Jack, or Jack and Mark. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Who's your daddy? And backside. That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for tuning in to McClain Cellars WineTV. Come out tomorrow and drink some wine with me. And if you don't, wait till next week and we'll do this again. Because the world's better when you drink good, stupid good wine at McClain Cellars. Why? Because we like drinking good wine. What? Everybody, we love you.
Good
Love
night.
you. Happy Memorial Day.